Dear future self, I think 2024 is going to be the year you finally build the life you promised yourself. It's not that you haven't been working toward it. Girl, you have been working so damn hard and you deserve all the rest you can get. But the thing is, if you want to live differently than you have or than others have, you need to do things differently too. You need to pick back up the courage which is so natural for you to go against the grain, to do things your own way. You need to realize that you are selling yourself short when you stick with what feels safe and secure. You deserve to bet on yourself. You deserve the belief that all of your big and beautiful dreams are worthy of coming true. You deserve the spaciousness in your life for art and creating, and to escape the feeling that your productivity is a measure of your worth. You keep saying this, but this year you must actualize it. It won't happen overnight, but it's time to slow down, to build something beautiful and sustainable, to make a few calculated leaps of faith, to say yes to the artist within again and again and again. I love you, future self, because I believe you've created a life I won't regret having lived. Welcome back to the vlog. If you're new here, my name is Dana. I'm 28, I'm based in Boston. This channel is all about balancing my many different passions. I have a 9-to-5 job that I mostly work from home. I run a business as a book editor. I'm the director of a dance company, and I'm also an artist myself. I'm a poet and a dancer and just generally a creative person, but I also love health and fitness and self-care and all of that sort of thing. And really I just use this space on YouTube kind of as a video diary, documenting my journey towards hopefully living a life that I dream of, but also being super grateful for whatever comes along the way. In this vlog, we are resetting, refreshing, setting our intentions for a brand new year. I'm someone personally who tends to really enjoy times like the new year. Like, I love a Monday, I love the first of a month, I love a new year, I love my birthday, because they all mark these kind of times when it's fun and inspiring to just refresh and realign ourselves with what our intentions are. But I do want to say to all of you that the media is really overwhelming right now. So if you are someone maybe like me who finds it fun and inspiring to engage with that kind of media and set your resolutions and do all of this sort of thing, please by all means do it. But if you are feeling overwhelmed, make sure that you're able to kind of block some of this stuff out. Like, consume the content that's interesting and enjoyable and inspiring for you and block out the rest. New Year's might be a good time to do all of this resetting and setting goals and all of this sort of thing, but you do not have to. You can decide to make a change anytime that you want. And also, you don't need to change. You're perfect the way that you are, and you are worthy for literally just existing the way that you are. So I just want to remind you of all of that while you're being inundated with like vision boards and highlight reels of the last year and all of this sort of thing, because you don't need to do any of it if you don't want to. I wanted to go through with you all my resolutions from 2023, how they went, and kind of how I'm changing the way that I'm thinking about my goals and intentions for 2024, because it's super different, to be honest with you. My first goal from 2023 was to scale my freelance book editing business and build out more client funnels for it, essentially to kind of like build systems for my business that would benefit me in the long run and not rely as much on marketplaces like Fiverr and Upwork and Contra and all of those sort of things. Basically to build my own systems and be getting more clients organically from my own channels. I'm honestly so proud of myself on this one because I took a lot of concrete steps and invested in myself in ways that I don't think I ever have before. In February, I did a brand photo shoot for the first time with a local photographer, and then used those photos and hired professional web designers to make me a new website website. Previously, I had a website that kind of served as like just a portfolio for my poetry, but I literally didn't have a website where my freelancing services were listed for book editing at all. And even my website for my poetry was like old and didn't look super great. So as an investment in my business and also myself as an artist, I got professionals to do it so that it would be built with SEO from the ground up, so it'd be searchable and beautiful. I did that early in the year. I also started posting a lot more educational content on TikTok about my book editing business, and that became a client funnel in itself, which I wasn't actually expecting. I got a lot of clients finding me off of my TikTok videos, which was so amazing. And I also wrote and launched my first informational ebook, which was about how to submit and get published for poets. It honestly didn't do super well. I've only sold a few copies. I'll link that down below, by the way, if you're a poet and you want to get published in literary journals. It has so much information in it, but I'm proud of myself for just putting that out there, and it kind of set up the path for me to create more informational content that I can easily add to my website. So we did amazing on that one. I need to keep bringing that spirit of investment in myself this year because I feel like I started off so strong last year and then other things just like got in the way. The next one was to reach 25K on TikTok and get more brand deals. Didn't do super great on that. You know, we're all just a slave to the algorithm, and that algorithm did not love me this year. I feel like sometimes views and follows and all of that stuff can be so discouraging. I always remind myself how grateful I am because I have 19,000 followers on TikTok. That is amazing. So even though I didn't grow that much this year, I'm still so grateful for what I do have. And you know what? I'm always pushing myself to keep improving my content, while at the same time reminding myself that it's not me also. It's such a game of luck. Fingers crossed for this year. Hopefully we'll grow a little bit more. I didn't really do more brand deals, but I did join the creativity beta program, which pays for views that are over a minute on TikTok. I didn't make a ton of money from it, to be honest with you, because obviously my videos don't have like a huge reach, but the fact that TikTok sent me money in 2023 is the coolest thing ever. Like, how cool is that? You know, even if I'm only making like $1 or $2 from each video or whatever, it's, you know, it's really awesome that making content, which I usually just do, you know, for myself, is something that is paying me, even if it's like this tiny amount of money. So that was really cool. My next goal was about this little YouTube family here, which was to post 2 times a month on YouTube. We did okay on this. So I was really proud of myself for posting more on YouTube in the past year than I did previously, but you know, these YouTube videos just take a long time to create and edit, and oftentimes other things got in the way, usually my full-time job, but I ended up posting more like once a month. I say this all the time, I love YouTube, so this is definitely a place where I want to invest more in 2024. The next one is consistent movement and exercise. Stayed pretty consistent with lifting in the gym, but also the unexpected part is that I danced a lot last year and I loved it. Like, I went to a lot of dance classes, I did a dance intensive, I did more dance with the company that I direct than I usually do, like danced a ton, also hiked a lot and walked a lot. The next one was to brush up on my French, so I had Duolingo installed for myself to do that. I literally had like over 100-day streak, and then I broke that streak and literally never looked back. So the first half of the year I was like perfect on that goal, and then the second half of the year I did not do that goal at all whatsoever. So we'll see, maybe I'll try to get back on it this year. The next one was to travel internationally, which we did not do. There were a lot of unexpected expenses this past year. Like, I got my wisdom teeth out, which was very expensive. We bought a new car unexpectedly, which was obviously very expensive. Life stuff just got in the way and we weren't able to invest the money in international travel, but I'm like so determined that that's gonna happen in 2024. The next one was a big career move or promotion. I really thought, y'all, I really thought that I was gonna get promoted this past year. Joke's on me. I honestly am so over it with my 9-to-5 job right now. I've been there for 4 years, in my current role for 2 years, so I'm like so anxious to figure out what the next thing is. And that thing just did not happen this year, despite me trying pretty hard to make it happen. In general, I'm pretty over having a 9-to-5. We'll see, but something definitely needs to change in that area. And the last one on here was to get a book deal with a major publisher. This is the 4th year now that that has been on my list and that it has not happened. But the thing is, I am aiming for the moon with who I'm sending this to. Like, I'm only sending my poetry book out to major presses that I would be like extremely proud of and excited to have my book with. I've gotten good feedback, but I've just never been like the one that they decide to publish. So I guess it's worth the wait. And I'm working really hard on my book manuscripts still. Actually, I have 2 book manuscripts now. So, you know, manifest it for me. 2024 is the year for the book deal. Oh, actually, I missed one. The other one was to read more for pleasure. Because my business is editing books, I read a ton of books, but they're obviously not the books I choose. So I wanted to read more like educational stuff, nonfiction, poetry. I did pretty good on this. I did read a lot of books this past year, but definitely not as much as I would have liked. I have a huge to be read stack. But yeah, so I would say like 5 out of 10 on that one. So as you can see, I did okay on my goals. Aside from the ones like brushing up on French and maybe reading more, maybe traveling, they're all very like kind of career focused, numbers focused, very specific goals. And I wrote beneath them like the daily habits, the monthly habits, the specific steps that I would need to take to get to those things. And I think that that was great for me for last year. And it's a really good way to hold yourself accountable by making sure you're not just setting lofty, unattainable goals, but actually writing down like what you need to do to get there and breaking it down into the daily habits that you can implement. That's all great. But I am in such a different mindset this year. I feel like one of my main goals is like to have less of those goals, to not be so concerned with upward career mobility, to not be so beholden to numbers and hustling and overworking. And the act of setting goals and resolutions is very achievement oriented, very production oriented. And it's like, you feel bad if you don't achieve these certain things, and it makes it so that you almost ignore all of the beautiful things that have happened. And it can also really quickly lead towards like burnout, not feeling worthy. And I think one of my big goals, and the reason that setting goals like that isn't feeling so appealing to me this year, is that I actually want to move away from my relationship with urgency, my relationship with hustling. I want to approach life in a softer way. I don't want to reach this place every single year where I'm burnt out and exhausted and spending all of my time doing things that I don't value. So for this year, I'm approaching goals a lot more softly. I'm setting intentions and kind of themes for the year. So I've written down more art. And that is like the number one intention that I'm setting for this year. Write more poetry, edit my poetry, submit my poetry, work on both of my book manuscripts, dive deeply into my dance and choreographic processes, apply for opportunities, apply for grants, try to get money for my art, be around artists, be in community with artists, and prioritize my art practice more than I prioritize working for someone else. That is number one for this year. The next one is like, if you asked me a few years ago, I would never write something like this down on my resolutions. You can see the way that my thought processes are changing. I wrote down more play, do things that don't have results, dance classes, learn how to make pasta, start a porch garden, learn French, hikes and walks, read books for fun, even fiction. So, you know, things that are healing to my inner child, things that don't have a direct productive result, things that aren't measurable, things that are fun, that I've always wanted to do. Whenever I think about like my dream life, I literally have a giant library and a beautiful garden outside, and I spend my time gardening and reading and making pasta and drinking wine and like learning more about coffee and wine and all of this stuff that I love. So there is no reason that we need to hold things like that off. We can do them now, no matter what our life circumstances are. The next one, I literally just wrote down less job. My 9-to-5 job is something that has brought me a lot of stress and burnout and has not brought me a lot of joy or learning this past year. The next one is more content. I wrote down, this is the year of YouTube. This is the year of the blog. Tell more stories on TikTok. Write your next informational book. Things that I'm already doing, but that I love and really want to do more of. And last intention, more outdoors and travel. I wrote down Punta Cana in December, Iceland in September, move out of the city, and hike a lot. So you can see my intentions for 2024 are a lot softer. And I just want you to know that although setting hard goals that are measurable is great and can help you articulate your vision and help hold you accountable, you don't always need to do that. And I encourage you to, if you're kind of in the same boat as me and like actually setting goals is too natural to you and you'll push yourself too hard, maybe we need to approach 2024 with a little bit more softness and more vision and intention and kind of thinking about like, okay, what do I want my days to look like? What is my dream life and how do I get there and how do I make it happen in the now, in the present, despite whatever circumstance that I have? Definitely let me know in the comments if you are setting resolutions for this year, and if so, what those are. I would love to hear about them. Throughout the rest of this vlog, I'm just gonna take you through a couple of days, kind of getting back on track and refreshing myself for the year. So I hope you enjoyed the vlog. Thank you so much for being here, and let's get into it. My dears, it is the next day. It is now the weekend. I am in my comfy matching sweatsuit. There's actually supposed to be a big snowstorm coming tonight, so I'm thinking tomorrow, Sunday, is going to be a super chill day. My husband's also off of work tomorrow, which is awesome. So we're probably just going to be like, stay inside, watch movies, like romanticize the snow and make it a nice day for ourselves to relax. So right now I'm thinking I am going to head out to Whole Foods. I have a couple of grocery items that I want to get, but also like selfishly, I just kind of want to get some flowers to freshen up the house for the new year. That's one of the things that I love to do, is just kind of like bring some fresh life into the home, whether it's buying a plant or just having some flowers. I've got plenty of plants, as you all know, so I think just some nice fresh flowers would be nice to have. I'm gonna take you along with me. It's about 10 minutes walk from my house. I'm gonna bundle up because it's freezing outside, but it is nice that running the errand is kind of pushing me to get out and get some movement today, especially because I know tomorrow we are going to be hunkered down. Here is my very random Whole Foods haul. What I truly went there for was this non-dairy vanilla ice cream because we have brownie mix that we really want to make, and of course we want to have it with ice cream. And then also I have some stuff for cocktails, so I grabbed some ginger beer so that I could make those cocktails. And also I have some leftover pizza sauce and mozzarella cheese, so I got this like frozen pizza dough so that we can just throw a pizza together with that. Got my flowers, of course. Got a couple of kombuchas for me and my husband. This brand is my favorite. Alpine lavender flavor is so yummy. Got some bananas just to have. And then I've always wanted to try these, and they were on a crazy sale, so I decided to go for it. And then I got these mochi things for my husband because he loves them. So I'm just gonna surprise him with that little treat. Another thing that really helps it feel like a new year is like cleaning out and kind of refreshing your spaces and your things. I'm not the kind of person who thinks you need to like get rid of all your clothes and buy new stuff every season. I think that's pretty awful actually and super unsustainable. But right now I do just feel like bogged down with my clothes. Like I feel like I have too much. My closet is like stuffed to the brim, but I feel like I really don't wear all of my clothes. So I'm not gonna go crazy and get rid of everything, but I do want to parse through and just kind of pick out those pieces that I really don't wear anymore. And then what I typically do is, like, based on the condition and the style of the items, I'll kind of place things in bags to try to sell at like a Buffalo Exchange or something like that, and another bag for Goodwill if I don't think that it will sell at a secondhand store. I would rather donate the clothing, so that's what we're gonna do. Highly recommend doing some kind of clean out or refreshing of your space. It doesn't need to be a closet clean out. It could be like a deep clean of your home. It could be tackling that random pile of junk that you have sitting in a corner and just like being like, all right, we're actually gonna get rid of this now. We all have one. I know you have one. It could even be like a digital detox, like going through everyone that you're following on your social media platforms, making sure that all the content you're taking in is inspiring and interesting to you, and just unfollowing any pages that aren't serving you or that are causing you to have negative thoughts or comparisons or anything like that. Do something to refresh a space. This is my side of the closet right now. As you can see, it is packed and filled to the brim. And even in here, this is like sweaters and loungewear and stuff. It's like stacked up high in the closet there. So, you know, I just want to have a little bit more space, and I know that I don't wear all of this stuff. This one's a maybe. Objectively, I like it and it's a nice shirt, but I never ever wear it. So I'm wondering if it's time for this one to go.
Fine line keeps me from falling, but my head in the room won't stand this side. Cold nights and lights start to feeling.
This has been one of my absolute favorite shirts for years. It's one of those like collarless collars. The sleeve length is just perfect. It's a basic white shirt, but it has all these great details like this slit in the back. But it is so old that it is basically yellow. And I think I've tried to work on it with some bleach in the past, and it's just like not getting clean anymore. I hope I can find something else like this again. Just like a black basic button down, but it's a really odd shape in that it's quite long, but it's very like skinny. So it's quite fitted, but it goes down like past my butt. So I just don't find myself reaching for this that much. I wish it was just oversized all around instead of just long. So I think I'm gonna get rid of this one. Okay, this dress I love in concept, and I've worn it a few times, especially when I'm trying to dress more modestly. If you don't know, my family is Muslim and my husband's family is also Muslim. So even though I don't look very Muslim and I'm not actively practicing, there are plenty of occasions where dressing a little bit more modestly is definitely something that I try to do. So this dress has been pulled out for those occasions a number of times. I was looking at pictures of myself in it, and it does this weird, like, when I tie it around my waist, there's too much fabric and it like floofs out in weird ways. I think maybe I just needed a smaller size, but I didn't realize it. And I should have exchanged it, but I didn't end up being able to do that. So I think I need to get rid of this one, but I do want to buy something similar that fits a little bit better. Last time I wore this, I decided that I might be over it. I like it in concept, but the shape of the sleeve on me, I don't think works super well, and the light blue is just not a color that I gravitate towards. I wish it was like an olive green or something a little bit more my style. So although this one was great in concept, I think I'm gonna let her go. This vest I wore a ton like a couple of years ago, but I think I've just outgrown it style-wise. This cream like Sherpa fabric, I am not a fan of it anymore. So I think it is time to get rid of this vest.
Long flights keep me coasting by. No, don't
because this is my favorite, just like big black turtleneck sweater, but it's starting to look quite old. I have one of those like sweater vacuum things to like get off the pilling, so maybe if I do that, this will be okay to keep. Look at this, all of this in front of me is sweaters and like sweatpants and loungewear type of stuff. And I don't want to get rid of any of it. It's so bad. I love it all.
Slowing down.
All right, so pants wise, I got these white dress pants. The fit on them is wonderful, but in what world did I think that I was gonna wear white pants? Like, who do I think I am? I'm trying to think of any instance in which I would grab white pants to wear, and I cannot think of one, so I think these are gonna go. Okay, these are another one that I really like, but I never reach for them. I can't tell you the last time I've reached for them in my closet. I think that this color just doesn't pull me in, so I think I'm gonna get rid of these as well. These pants I love in theory, but the fit on them is a little bit weird. They're like very tight in the waist, and then they kind of like balloon out a little bit in a way that makes me feel not my best. So even though I really like these, I think it might be time for them to go. All right, for this closet, that is everything. I think I'm gonna go ahead and hang everything back up. The last thing I want to go through is coats and jackets that I might not use. Those are in our other like tiny closet in the other room.
City ain't pretty only for a while. Well, just burning, but we're burning just to get outside. But if you had the time to, would you have seen it through every hour when the sky turns red? Now I can't abide to dreaming about you.
All right, these are the coats that I'm getting rid of. This one is super cute and served me for a while, but the sleeves are furry on the inside, and when I'm wearing winter clothes, like when it's appropriate to wear this coat, the sleeves are so uncomfortable because they're super tight with the fur on the inside. So I just never reach for this because it's not comfortable for me. This one is just old and I've kind of grown out of it style-wise. I really don't like navy blue. Like blue is just not a color that I gravitate towards. I love the neon pop of color on the inside, but yeah, this is just not my style anymore. This is all the stuff that I'm trying to sell, all packaged up in bags. I'm sure they will take like one piece of clothing from this, which is what they always do. And then this is all the stuff for Goodwill right here. That's the clothes that I just took out, but then there's also some like homewares and blankets and mugs and all sorts of stuff that I've kind of been curating to get rid of recently, so that's all in there as well. All right, beautiful people, we are gonna go ahead and end off the vlog here. I hope you enjoyed it, found some inspiration potentially for your New Year reset, but also hopefully took away the message that you really don't need to change anything, and if you do want to make a change, you can really make it any time of year. I love you all. Thank you so much for being here. Please give this video a like and subscribe to my channel if you have not already. I'm still a tiny little channel, so that kind of stuff really does help me a lot. I appreciate you all so much, and I will see you all in the next one.